Welcome to my channel. Today, as video, we are going to discuss about 12 shocking facts about white rice that you should know. Don't eat white rice or your sugar will skyrocket. There are many things that people do not know about white rice. People think it is just a carbohydrate food, and they don't know what is inside of this white rice. That is why I am making this video for you guys, so that you can be aware of these 12 things. Let's dive in and explore these facts together. So the first fact is white rice blood sugar. White rice has a high glycemic index, which means that it can cause your blood sugar levels to rise quickly. If you are worried about your blood sugar levels, then it is best to avoid white rice. The glycemic index is a scale that measures how quickly a food can raise your blood sugar levels. Foods with a high GI can cause your blood sugar levels to spike, while foods with a low GI can help to keep your blood sugar levels steady. White rice has a GI of 100, which is considered to be very high. This means that eating white rice can cause your blood sugar levels to spike very quickly. It is important to note that the type of rice that you eat can also affect your blood sugar levels. For example, brown rice has a lower GI than white rice, so it will not cause your blood sugar levels to rise as quickly. The second fact is foods that spike sugar. Certain foods can cause your blood sugar levels to spike, which can lead to a variety of health problems. One of the worst things that you can eat if you have diabetes or are at risk of developing diabetes is white rice. This is because white rice is a refined carbohydrate, which means that it has been stripped of its bran and endosperm, which are the parts of the rice grain that contain fiber and other nutrients. This leaves only the starchy center of the rice grain, which is made up of pure carbohydrates. When you eat white rice, your body breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose, which is a type of sugar. Glucose is then absorbed into your bloodstream, which causes your blood sugar levels to spike. So if you are looking to avoid foods that spike your sugar levels, it is best to stay away from white rice. Instead, you can opt for complex carbohydrates such as whole grains, fruits and vegetables, which will not cause your blood sugar levels to spike as quickly. The third fact is avoid white rice. So let's get into some of the reasons why you should consider avoiding white rice. One of the main reasons is that white rice is a refined carbohydrate. This means that it has been stripped of its bran and endosperm, which are the parts of the rice grain that contain most of the fiber and nutrients. This leaves only the starchy center of the rice grain, which is made up of pure carbohydrates. When you eat white rice, your body breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose, which is a type of sugar. And as we all know that too much sugar in the body can cause a variety of health problems, such as weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Another reason to avoid white rice is because it has a high glycemic index, GI. This is a scale that measures how quickly a food can raise your blood sugar levels. White rice has a GI of 100, which is considered to be very high. This means that eating white rice can cause your blood sugar levels to spike very quickly. This can be dangerous for people with diabetes or those who are at risk of developing diabetes. Finally, white rice is a relatively low nutrient density food. This means that it does not provide a lot of nutrients for the amount of calories that it provides. In addition to being low in nutrients, white rice is also high in calories. This can lead to weight gain over time if it is consumed in excess. If you are considering avoiding white rice, there are a variety of alternatives that you can choose from. Brown rice, quinoa, and oats are all good sources of complex carbohydrates and fiber. These alternatives can help you maintain steady blood sugar levels and keep you feeling full longer. You may also want to consider cutting back on the amount of rice that you consume at each meal. Instead of eating a large bowl of rice, try eating half a bowl. You may be surprised at how quickly you are able to cut back and feel better. The fourth fact is high sugar foods. We all love to indulge in a sweet treat every now and then, but did you know that there are certain high sugar foods that can wreak havoc on your body? One of the worst offenders is white rice. When you eat white rice, your body quickly breaks down the carbohydrates into glucose, which is a type of sugar. This causes your blood sugar levels to spike, which can lead to a variety of health problems. But white rice is not the only high sugar food that you should be avoiding. Sugary drinks such as soda and fruit juice are also major culprits. These drinks are loaded with added sugars, which are not only unnecessary, but can also be extremely harmful to your health. When you drink sugary drinks, the sugar is absorbed directly into your bloodstream, causing your blood sugar levels to spike even further. Other high sugar foods that you should avoid include cookies, cakes, and ice cream. These desserts are often high in both sugar and fat, which makes them even more harmful to your health. By avoiding these high sugar foods, you can help to keep your blood sugar levels steady and reduce your risk of developing health problems such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. It is important to note that the type of sugar that you consume also plays a role in how it affects your body. For example, added sugars are sugars that are added to foods during processing or preparation. These sugars are unnecessary and can be harmful to your health. Natural sugars, on the other hand, are sugars that occur naturally in foods such as fruits and vegetables. These sugars are usually consumed in moderation and are not harmful to your health. The fifth fact is sugar balance naturally. If you are looking to balance your sugar levels naturally, there are a few things that you can do. First, you can start by cutting back on the amount of sugar that you consume. This means avoiding sugary drinks, processed foods, and desserts. Instead, focus on consuming natural sources of sweetness such as fruits and vegetables. You can also try using alternative sweeteners such as stevia or erythritol. In addition to cutting back on sugar, you can also try to increase your consumption of fiber. Fiber helps to slow down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream, which can help to keep your blood sugar levels steady. Good sources of fiber include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Finally, you can also try to get regular exercise. Exercise can help to improve insulin sensitivity, which can help your body better regulate blood sugar levels. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. The sixth fact is rice and health risks. Rice is a staple food for many people around the world, but it has been linked to a number of health risks. One of the most concerning is arsenic contamination. Arsenic is a toxic substance that can build up in rice and other grains over time. It has been linked to a number of health problems, including cancer and heart disease. While the levels of arsenic in rice are generally low, it is still important to be aware of the potential risks and take steps to minimize exposure. Another health risk associated with rice is the potential for weight gain. Rice is a high carbohydrate food, which means that it can cause blood sugar levels to spike and lead to fat gain if consumed in excess. Additionally, rice is often served with high-calorie toppings such as butter, cheese, and sauces, which can further contribute to weight gain. Finally, rice has been linked to an increased risk of certain chronic diseases. Studies have shown that consuming too much rice can increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and certain types of cancer. This is likely due to the high carbohydrate content of rice, as well as its potential to be contaminated with toxic substances such as arsenic. To reduce the health risks associated with rice, it is important to choose the right type of rice and prepare it properly. Brown rice and wild rice are two types of rice that are less likely to be contaminated with arsenic. And it is important to rinse rice thoroughly before cooking to remove any excess starch. Additionally, it is important to watch portion sizes and avoid piling on the high-calorie toppings. By following these tips, you can enjoy rice as part of a healthy diet while minimizing the potential health risks. The seventh fact is daily health tips. I am committed to bringing you daily health tips and advice that can help you live a healthier life. Today, I want to share with you a fact that you should know about white rice. Did you know that white rice is one of the worst foods for your health? That's right. This popular grain is high in carbohydrates and has a high glycemic index, meaning that it can cause your blood sugar levels to spike. It is also low in nutrients and fiber, which means that it is not very filling. Eating too much white rice can lead to weight gain and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and other chronic conditions. So if you are concerned about your health, I strongly advise you to avoid white rice. Instead, you can opt for healthier alternatives such as brown rice, quinoa, or oats. These alternatives are more nutritious and will not cause your blood sugar levels to spike. The eighth fact is natural health lifestyle. If you're looking to improve your overall health and well-being, then it's essential to adopt a natural health lifestyle. This means making choices that support your body's natural healing and balancing processes. One of the key components of a natural health lifestyle is avoiding white rice. White rice is a refined carbohydrate that has been stripped of its nutrients and fiber. It has a high glycemic index, which means that it can cause your blood sugar levels to spike. This can lead to weight gain and an increased risk of developing chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Instead of white rice, opt for whole grain alternatives such as brown rice, quinoa, and oats. These grains are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals and will not cause your blood sugar levels to spike. By choosing whole grains, you'll provide your body with the nutrients it needs to function optimally while avoiding the harmful effects of refined carbohydrates. The ninth fact is nutrition awareness. Nutrition plays a vital role in maintaining good health and preventing diseases. It is essential to be aware of the nutritional value of the foods that we consume and make informed choices about our diet. One such food that we should be aware of is white rice. White rice is a staple food for many people around the world, but it is important to be aware of its nutritional content. White rice is a refined carbohydrate and is low in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. It has a high glycemic index, which means that it can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. Consuming too much white rice can lead to weight gain and increase the risk of developing chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease. It is important to be aware of these risks and make informed choices about our rice consumption. Instead of white rice, we can opt for brown rice or wild rice, which are richer in nutrients and have a lower glycemic index. By being aware of the nutritional value of the foods that we consume, we can make informed choices that support our overall health and well-being. The 10th fact is healthy aging diet. As we age, It is natural to experience changes in our bodies, including a slower metabolism and weaker bones. However, we have the power to influence how our bodies age by making smart dietary choices. One of the worst foods we can consume as we age is white rice. White rice is a refined carbohydrate that has been stripped of its fiber and nutrients. It has a high glycemic index, which means that it can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. High blood sugar levels can damage our cells and increase the risk of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes and heart disease. As we age, it is important to focus on consuming foods that are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fiber helps to keep us full and satisfied, while vitamins and minerals support our overall health. Instead of white rice, we can opt for whole grain alternatives such as brown rice, quinoa, and oats. These grains are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals and will not cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. By making smart dietary choices and avoiding white rice, we can support our bodies as we age and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching and stay healthy.